Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. I apologize for somewhat of a delay. I was trying to do this a couple days ago, but had a lot of technical problems, had audio problems. I actually had uploaded a copy of this. I think 20 of you had seen it, but the audio was just so brutally off that I needed to go and do it again. Also, I apologize for a little bit of the skippiness and the lagginess. I really need a really nice graphics card to kind of try to pull off what I'm doing. I might open up donations to do it again, but currently I cannot afford it. Wedding debt, among other things. But do comment on the new audio because I have a new headset with a new mic attached, courtesy of Joe from Joe.2 and Scooby. Special thanks to them, special shout out to them. This is Socke versus Demuslim. We have Demuslim starting at the 3 o'clock position as the red Terran, Socke starting at the 9 o'clock position as the blue protoss, and it looks like very quickly sending out a probe scout to get information on Demuslim. So, also wanted to note I got this from reddit.com/r/SC2 replays. If you go there, submit your replays through something like Replay Foo. Other people will upvote it or downvote it, and things with high votes that haven't already been commentated, I will commentate. And this is actually from that section. Moletrap's doing it as well, and I will try to spread the word to other commentators. Also, if you go to youtubesocial.com, you can kind of treat this as live stream or live chat. Basically, it's a chat feature, so you don't have to talk to your friends in 8 a.m., so group room chats. It's a nifty little feature. You should check it out. I've been doing that with people. Specifically, I've been doing that with Moletrap for a long time, watching StarCraft and talking on AIM or something like that, and it's just a little easier feature to do that for you. Otherwise, it looks like Socke is going to come across scouting the 3 o'clock position. Demuslim on the barracks, and that was the other thing I wanted to mention. Also, OSL Finals, Violattack, and Reddit stuff, Reddit tournament from last Saturday up on Violattack as well, done by Moletrap and I. So keep an eye on Violattack. We're actually producing some more stuff on that. I'm also going to be producing some stuff for Machinima as well, but I think that's going to be more the spectator tutorial things. So hope you guys enjoy this. After that long intro, I'm sorry for the long intros. It looks like we are seeing a gateway pylon opening here from Socke. Nothing too special from either player. Pretty quick gas from Demuslim. Looks like he's going to follow it up with Supply Depot and just a Marine to start. I do like the fact that he's building it on the interior rather than right at the ramp. Really the only advantage you get with StarCraft 2 building on the ramp is you can try to deny the probe scout or trap that probe in, but it becomes a liability if a Protoss opponent decides to be aggressive post that, because you lose supply depots very easily and then your supply cap right at the wrong moment. Right at the wrong moment. And this Marine deciding to get a little bit more aggressive. And nice play by Demuslim, actually lowering that supply depot to provide a better canal for that Marine to go and assault that probe, very quickly taking it out. So that Marine, after being a little bit lazy and just kind of chilling on the front door, immediately going, oh, okay, time to kill some probes, and running out and getting it done. Nice. So concussive shells being upgraded. Looks like 2 Marauders being built by Demuslim to follow us up, and just playing a little bit standard to follow. Looks like Socke also getting that Stalker up on the front door and rallying it way out his main, also putting pylons along the corner and going Stargate tech. So we'll see if he decides to go for more Void Ray build, or if he decides to go Phoenixes and kind of harass those mules. I really like air in general. It looks like Demuslim's going to follow this up by planting 2 additional barracks to essentially get a big mid-game army, so he doesn't really have to worry about securing his natural command. Sometimes I really feel like the 1 barracks into expand build has kind of fallen out of favor for Terran players, just because Protoss have kind of stomped on it. They look for a lot of opportunities to stomp on that hard, particularly in scouting. It's fairly easy to scout, and speaking of scouting that, beautiful timing from Socke, a little bit of a lagging SCV, I'm not sure what that was about, but right as, and it looks like they're going to see it from that Zelnaga watchtower, but right as those 2 Marauders and that Marine out of position, this probe's going to wander in, get a free look at the natural expansion, not going to be able to get in the main, but Socke really got the information he's looking for, almost made it up, and it's almost a fluke that he didn't. I do like the persistent scouting from both players, looking for proxy information. Let's see what we have. Wow, we have a Phoenix building out for Socke, and I like this choice of tech for a lot of reasons, because first of all, it's forcing your opponent to do something that they really don't want to do. In Terran's instance, either they have to go Valkyries, which is a pretty heavy investment, Valkyries Vikings, which is a pretty heavy investment, apologies for that, still in StarCraft mode a little bit, or additionally, or I guess contra-wise, the other thing they can do is produce additional Marines, and if you're producing more Marines, that means you're producing less Marauders, and that means your army is less bulky, is really what it comes down to. Additionally, you can skip the, you don't need an Observer as quickly, you don't need an Observer until you start worrying about Ghosts or Banshees or other cloak units. The Phoenix can run out and scout everything going out pretty quickly, almost like a Corsair versus Zerg did back in the day, and even spotting that kind of makes Demuslim uncomfortable. He might be a little bit more careful with his units. Really, this This is the huge thing, though, is the mules, and it's not really showing here with the larger harvester count, but Protoss almost always has a much larger harvester count. Now the two Phoenixes dashing in almost always have a much larger harvester count just because of chrono boost. You can chrono boost a lot more probes in. Mules are really what keeps that economy even, keeps Terran in the game economically, but sometimes even ahead. And right there, nice pickoff from Socke, and that really hurts that economy. And once again, we'll take a look here and see what Demuslim produces to follow, and you can look how many Marines are in this composition and how many Marauders. We only have 2 Marauders that have been produced here versus just a ton of Marines to follow, and I expect, if I'm seeing this right, yes, we are seeing Charge being upgraded and a Zealot heavy composition that should follow this up from Socke. So very nice choice. Looks like Weapons 1 also being upgraded, and I like that choice on Demuslim's part as well, but essentially forcing his Terran opponent to a degree, and it looks like a missile turret actually being built, a little bit of harassment here, a missile turret being built into the mineral expansion to free Demuslim up to move. But you look how many Marines are here, and if that Zealot leg boost, the Charge, gets upgraded, those Zealots are going to be very effective against this Marine force. Socke is very vulnerable right this second, though, because he does not have a very large economy. I don't think he has much of an army. He's only got 6 Zealots and a single Stalker to go up against 16 Marines, so it looks like the Phoenixes need to dive in, provide a little bit of harassment, or he needs to get a little bit lucky, and I think I just missed a little bit of harassment on screen right there. But Medevac's also coming on the call, so it looks like the Medevac should approach on screen, and he needed to be a little bit careful because with those Phoenixes out in the field, that's the other thing I love about Phoenix, is they limit the mobility of the Medevacs to a degree. Also in the big fights, they can just dash in, take those Medevacs out, and it's a huge liability. Instead of Terran just moving out with those Medevacs, the Medevacs are in fact just capped. And this is beautiful positioning as well. You look at this army to the north, and Socke just leaving his natural expansion. Now high tempo there exposed. This is going to encourage the Muslim to kind of pop up here, and now a counterattack from a nice coverage by that sentry, just providing a lot of defense, and the Muslim's army getting crushed, plus the Phoenix right on top of those Medevacs. Beautiful play, kind of an errant force field there, but really well played, I would say. Nice little micro fight by Socke, and he's going to crush that Atari army, set the Muslim back, and beautiful micro from Socke. So just really controlling the game to this point. Looks like that factory just going to hover up there. I do believe that High Templar is spotted out. There's some Sidestorm upgrade as well. And I'm not sure if there was a feedback actually on those Medevacs or not before that High Templar died, but the Phoenix is once again dashing forward, going to provide some additional harassment if they can. But you can see Demuslim is once again, he doesn't have much of an army. He's gotten some more Marauders up, but still needs to worry about his anti-air coverage a little bit. I do like how he's not over, just getting out there with that Phoenix, he's not over-committing here. He is keeping it a little bit light, and Socke now pushing up to be aggressive to try to deny that natural expansion as long as possible. Looks like it is now, I think that's been built inside base, and I missed it. Yeah, it was built to the corner. It's going to float down, getting a little bit too close to that corner, so it looks like Socke is going to lose 2 Zealots maybe? Yes, going to end up losing 2 Zealots, and very aggressive by Demuslim. Marine getting stranded right there. Oh, it's in the last second. And in the meantime, that factory looks like it is going to get taken out. Maybe it'll make it back to the high ground. But the Phoenix is once again continuing to dash through, and even though they're getting hit by 1 Marine, no problem. You can go and just lift them up, take them out. Very nice. But going in, scouting, seeing if there's any additional infrastructure being planted. Ghost Academy is being upgraded, as well as the Mobius Reactor to get additional energy, which is almost a double-edged sword with High Templar out in the field. And High Templar, it is really a micro fight between the High Templar and the Ghosts. And this is where actually this is going to force observatory and a little bit of spotting tech once those Ghosts have the protein upgrade. But essentially, with the High Templar can use feedback to really drain the energy. What feedback does is if you have any sort of mana or energy, kind of push back between that and the Medevacs, that actually hurt the Medevacs. So for example, this has 108 energy in storage. All of that would be converted to damage. Then the Medevacs aren't healing, first of all, and additionally they're low on health and can be taken out by maybe another High Templar doing a Psystorm. So, but between the High Templar Ghost fight, Psystorm, feedback can really limit them and specifically keep them from using EMP on the front door and kind of force them to engage. If you send out a single Ghost or even 2 Ghosts at a time, force them to use the EMP on the High Templar, send out the High Templar on Ghosts. Kind of forcing there. This is kind of interesting. A little bit of a mana pylon in the forward position, also kind of providing a guaranteed threat, but the Muslim completely going to ignore that. When we lift up, ferry up, Socke completely out of position to try to engage this, so he's definitely going to lose this warp gate, probably going to end up using this pylon as well, Psy Storm as well as a feedback, and you can see now these medevacs have absolutely no energy. The Phoenix is getting in the mix here, another 2 feedbacks, and just like that, wow, that hurts. The Muslim lost 2/3 his army, just losing those 2 medevacs, just the wrong moment to have them loaded up. But yeah, that one medevac looks like it managed to dodge. But it managed to dodge some of that feedback, but not able to dodge the Phoenixes. Phoenix is continuing to harass that factory, so that factory now can burn to the ground. And the Sizable Arm is starting to move out, wants to get that pylon in position just for kind of a position advantage. The Muslim essentially, without the medevacs, can't really go forward on the ground, otherwise he might be facing kind of a pincer situation. So when the Phoenix getting mixed up in this attack here, going to try to take that medevac out as well. The Zealot's running underneath. The Stalker is able to snipe it. So very nice play. Socke microing very well. And the Compressor Chill is really paying their toll, so he's going to have to back off now. And this is a real telltale sign here. The Muslim having to upgrade to a planetary fortress on his natural expansion, not feeling safe, and it looks like getting the shot off. Looks like not quite in range to defend that gas, so a little bit of harassment. I like this position here, again, by Socke, again, throwing the High Templar out, using feedback, able to get 2 ghosts right there and prevent them. Just 2 health left. Now they can't, again, they cannot use any of their abilities, can't use Ant or anything otherwise. Very easily picked off, and you can see just getting annihilated right there. Looks like Socke is fortunate with his own, sights from his own zealots a little bit here. But still doing pretty well. He has denied another gas, which is really going to hurt the Muslims, slow him down. But really, that planetary fortress is huge. Keep in mind what I said about mules earlier. Looks like energy being expended all at once. Some dropships coming back. Some medevacs coming back. I need to get out of that habit. 1 o'clock base being taken by Socke in the meantime. And it looks like the Muslim also providing some additional barracks. It looks like a load up by the Muslim. He's perfectly safe with this planetary fortress on the front door. He can just pile a lot of SCVs on there, and he's going to go for an attack around the perimeter, kind of do a back edge drop. He might run headlong into this Stalker army, and I do like the spread again by Socke. He's got a lot of information just by kind of these buildings out in the field, by where his units are positioned now, pushing forward and be able to slow that 3rd base from being planted. This is a very late 3rd for the Muslim. Let's see if we can do some economic damage to kind of even this up. It looks like as far as production-wise, though, just a slight advantage for Socke, and unfortunately for Socke right here, now has that observer to deal with the ghosts. Yeah, he's going to be able to deny this second gas once again here, and maybe even do a little bit of damage on those ghosts. But his army is now completely out of position to deal with these medevacs, and it does not take a eye pistol, I like that. Does not take a lot of time for Marauders to just chew through a Nexus or chew through additional buildings. Let's see if the Muslim goes right for the Nexus. Looks like High Templar warping directly in, and it looks like there was the Amulet upgrade, which is huge because that means the High Templar spawn in with the Psy Storm ready. Unfortunately, brilliant choice by the Muslim to take out that Templar Archive. Really going to nerf Socke's army now in the mid-game. All he can produce is Zealots and Stalkers, and it looks like these Marauders, again, just wreaking havoc on this natural expansion. And again, all it takes is to do a Void Ray now being built, perhaps to do some more heavy damage against that planetary fortress and just be a bigger threat and try to pin the Muslim back further. Once again, the Muslim has another large attack force starting to move out again with that planetary fortress. It frees him up quite a bit. But that Void Ray should provide a little bit of kind of counter leverage to make sure that Socke is again just keeping the Muslim back for a minute. Once again, dropping, nothing there. The Void Ray will be produced, only a single unit to try to defend it, but dropship once again getting picked off. I should say medevacs working on it. 12 o'clock position, Socke taking that, but the Muslim right there to deny it. I don't need, again, out of position, doesn't have, so nice little position play, I would say. Void Ray, I think just, yeah, walked right by, so Socke just revealing that, just going to walk straight through. He's okay, I guess, letting the Muslim know that's there. Try to force the Muslim back. Unfortunately, the Muslim was already out in the field, and it's just going to be up to, again, Zealots and Stalkers. I'm not sure that there, no, okay, there are High Templar out in the field. I think Templar Archive was rebuilt in the meantime, but looks like instead just Zealots and Stalkers being built on the low ground, enough High Templar otherwise. A good EMP, but just a little bit weak. But this is the thing, as long as the Muslim can retreat from these battles, he can't really get another comm set off, but as long as he can retreat, he has a fully healthy army. Once he gets out of position, you can see Socke just trying to keep that engagement there. Another, unfortunately, Lynx statue eating some damage for him. Couldn't really afford another stim pack, so actually if Socke had pursued that, he would have gotten a lot of troops out of it. this is kind of an X factor. We've got a medevac still sitting here, which could unleash a lot of damage. But once again, we have command center for Demuslim. He has managed to expand. He has been able to take out that 12 o'clock position, which is absolutely huge. Looks like Socke is going to move out to take that now. But a pretty sizable army, and I feel